we do have speakers.
Okay, good. 2 minutes apiece.
We have 8 speakers in support and 11 non-speakers, and 1 speaker against. So we'll start
Wait,
with-
yeah, thank you, support.
Yes.
Let's take those first.
Drew Johnson,
Drew Johnson, 5600 Ottoman Trail, 76017. Mayor, Council, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Last time I checked, they got 11,000 signatures in support of this, which may seem like a small number in the city, but I went back and looked, and that's about the average number of votes in the mayoral election in the city. So it's kind of a big deal. So please don't just kind of push it aside for the 11,000 number. In my view, the city has a mission credibility on this red light camera deal. After that report came out in November, where it showed that police officers weren't having to pay their tickets, city vehicles weren't paying their tickets because they didn't know who was driving. But as a citizen, when I get this, you're not driving it, and I pay a ticket. It doesn't seem fair, it doesn't seem right, it doesn't seem equitable. The fact is, there's honest arguments on both sides of whether this helps the community or hurts. And the verdict is still out on whether it is good or bad. I took an economics crime class at UTA, and the professor explained how the cameras maybe treat the symptoms, not the overall problem. And so I think these red light cameras may help us implement the other treat. So I really hope we take a look at this, because if we keep these red light cameras, and that may cause some excessive braking, and now we've denied my car care. That's a bigger place, we might have less option to get a brake fix. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Kim Field,
I was determined not to get a ticket one day because the light was going to change. So I slammed my brakes and then I was hit from the back.
Jerome Pikulinski,
Hope springs eternal. But my view is that the problem with cameras and their continued use is that they create a situation that's much too casual for the seriousness of the offenses that need to be dealt with. That fact, reckless driving, the death of people as a result of accidents on racetracks, Green Oaks being one of those racetracks, you know. It really troubles me that we have adopted a kind of casual attitude to road safety and reckless driving as a result of being able to say, we have cameras. You know, and some people object to the revenue, and there are a whole lot of those issues. But I think the issue is that if you have to pick and choose, we need patrolmen, we need traffic officers, and we need to be ticketing people, and we need to ticket them heavily, particularly for running red lights. I mean, the fine ought to be $250 or $300. And so, you know, you have to decide what you are doing in your policy decisions, okay? In this case, just passing on this without addressing the real problems of traffic safety in Arlington, that's really wrong. So please, give your support to this. I mean, I know you've got a long-term contract and a lot of entanglements, but I really want you to support the vote by the people. Okay? Thank you.
Brian Ganges,
Good evening. I'm actually encouraged to see that this ban was put together by the people. An organic movement reminds me and encourages me that the First Amendment still exists, the right to petition our government for redress of grievances. And that's the bedrock, one of the bedrock foundation points of our country. And I'm encouraged to see the support and that organic people, regular people, are here to stand up and let their voices be heard. Whether it's New Jersey, I believe cities in Ohio and Florida have also taken similar stances. So I am encouraged to see the opportunity for the people to speak. I'm also against this, the cameras, because it's in part, at least in part, a way to privatize our traffic enforcement. And what I mean by that is, you know, we have law enforcement, and it's their job to enforce the laws, issue citations, that sort of thing. But if we partner, you know, it's kind of like a public-private partnership. And if we partner, our government partners with private organizations, private companies, you know, a private company's business is to make a profit at my benefit. But when the government does it, you're benefiting, you're profiting at my expense. There's a big difference. Now, when you're providing a service, when a company's providing a service, I'm giving money willingly, so that I get a good service in return. There's a mutual exchange. But when the government is profiting at my expense, that's a tax. I have a problem with that. So I appreciate your time, and I thank Citizens for Better Arlington for setting all this up. Thank you.
Did you get it?
Ryan
One more time, I'm sorry.
Ryan Ganges, 4111 General Springs Drive.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Say it again.
Kelly Cannon,
Say it again.
My name is Kelly Cannon, and I live at 901 Christian Court here in Arlington.
Hey, bring that microphone to you. Pull it out a little bit. That's good. That's better.
I can't tell you how happy I am to be right here, right now, and for once rise in support of something on an agenda at a city council meeting. How many times have I had to do that in the opposite? But this particular amendment, an amendment to the city charter to permanently ban once and for all the use of the unconstitutional photographic traffic enforcement system in the city, better known to most as the red light cameras. You know, at the onset of our petition drive, we asked ourselves, what if the city just decided to do away with the red light cameras all on their own? It would sure save us a lot of headache. But then we realized we do need to make this a permanent ban. Without such, there is no guarantee that mayors and councils ahead of you wouldn't resurrect the traffic enforcement system at some point in the future. This charter amendment ensures that future city councils and mayors will also have to abide by the ban. This is the quintessential reason for the amendment, as stated in our petition, and signed by over 11,400 citizens of this city. This is why we stood in the rain, the relentless heat, the sun, the wind, the freezing sleet, sacrificing time away from our family and our friends and other events in our personal lives, so that we could gather enough signatures to bring us to this point. This is why we the people matter. So with that said, I urge passage of this agenda, and I urge the citizens of Arlington to vote in favor of or for Proposition 1. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mark Liber. Mark Liber.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. 1213 Sunnyvale, Arlington, Texas. And I just want to say that I am in support of termination of the red light cameras. I am very much in favor of the yellow light countdown. And I wish y'all would consider that and do away with these red light cameras. I believe the citizens of this town have spoken. Maybe not all of them, but as Kelly said, there's 11,000 plus people that have stood out there and signed these petitions. And this has to have some type of effect on y'all and knowing that these signatures of these people are out there and want these red light cameras gone. I mean, terminate. Get them out of here. We don't want them. Like I said, one more thing, the yellow light countdown is the most safest way to do this. Because if we're talking about safety, which I know that is what y'all have talked about, is safety. I used to say safety, safety, safety when I had a flight school at Arlington Airport. And I believe that safety is the most important thing. Y'all think it's the red light, but yet it is the yellow countdown light that needs to be installed. Do away with the red light camera, please. Thank you. Thank you.
I too would like to see the red light cameras go. This is not in any way about safety. I attend a lot of city council meetings, and at one of those meetings held out at the convention center, there was discussion of the red light cameras. And this was prior to before there was a big issue going on or anything. The city council wasn't getting any particular pressure on it, so you didn't feel it. And when you were talking budget and cash flow for the city, and came up, how much money are we getting on red light cameras? All the talk was about how much money was coming in. There wasn't a word, no one asked, is anybody safe or anything? It was how much money. In fact, one member of this council chuckled and said something to the effect of, well, the money's down at some of these intersections, the people are catching on. This is just paraphrasing. So maybe it's time to move the cameras to a new location. Well, the cameras shouldn't be at a location where it will bring in the most money from unsuspecting newbies. The cameras, if they're about safety, you would have been saying, let's keep them at the intersections where they're most needed. So this is not in any way about safety. These cameras came in because you wanted another way to tax citizens. I have never, I'm not up to it, I got a red light ticket. I have never gotten a red light ticket, okay? And I don't expect to. But a whole lot of people have, but the red light ticket term is a misnomer because almost nobody really runs a red light. Let me tell you this before I run out of time. I called and asked the city, what is your statistic for the number of people who actually run a red light? I was told you don't have that number, but that should be the most important number of all if safety is what really matters. So I think this whole thing is a scam, and it needs to stop.
Thank you. Say something about, who said what you just mentioned, that we need to do this, we're not making money?
I'm not going to say.
Did you hear it? I didn't hear it. I didn't hear that, John Lee.
Okay, well, I did.
I think it's fabrication. Thank you.
Well, I'll tell you this, my credibility is every bit as good as yours. So,
Jacob Cordova?
I think it's Cordova.
Good evening, Council. My name is Jacob Cordova. I live at 1908 Margaret Drive. I was part of the people that helped do the petition. You know, we got 11,000 petitions signed, you know, long, hard hours out in the cold, out in the rain, out in the heat. Only very few days there was heat. Yeah, we ended up with 11,000 petitions signed. So, as a few of the other speakers were saying, I think lengthening the yellow light or getting the yellow light countdown would be pretty good, you know, because sometimes they'll see that, you know, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you know, gives you a little advance when it's going to be turning yellow. Hopefully we'll have, you know, hopefully this is citywide, but, you know, there's a bill statewide, SB 340. Hopefully we can get rid of them all throughout the state of Texas. And yeah, I would like to say, if you guys don't vote for this, you know, we'll find representatives that will. Have a good night.
your names and have them stand.
Yes. Patrick, Bussett, I believe.
Okay.
Teresa Rushing. Faye Creasy. That's me. Gerald Keane. Richard Weber. Frank Kuchar. Octavia Moore. Robert Harness. Sorry, that was Robert Harris, correction. Alan Sanders. LaShae Pitts. Chris Donahue. And we have one speaker against the ordinance. Joshua Hatton.
There's yours.
Good evening. My name is Joshua Hatton. My address is 138 Varsity Circle. I oppose the ordinance because I find it to be somewhat undemocratic. My sense is that special elections, such as the ones that are proposed in the ordinance, end up with lower participation than regularly scheduled elections. I think for a matter of public safety, like the one being discussed with the red light cameras, I think it should be scheduled as an election for maximum participation. My sense, something like the November election would be a better option than the one proposed for May. I don't oppose a vote on the matter. I'd like to see a vote on the matter. That's fine. But I don't see a need to rush. And I think we should give the public time to educate themselves.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Those are all the cards.
All the cards, council, my computer's back up. And I want to see if you have any questions before we take. Okay, vote here. Ms. Wyman moves approval. Ms. Rivera seconds. I need your votes, please. This is to remove. Okay. I'm sorry, have the election. Yeah. Okay. Everybody vote? It's approved unanimously. Okay. I'd like to recognize the scouts in the back. Would you stand and somebody tell us who you are and what you're going to do? Just stand and here comes Ms. First.